Early in the morning, Nina made an embarrassed sound. She was in the sparsely populated study room, looking at the many textbooks and reference books spread out on the table. Guyan, Nina. Ah, Senior Millie. The elf who was 3 years older than her walked over and spoke to her. Milia, who allowed Nina to call her by her nickname, was a member of Beetleban's 7th team. Unlike the 3rd team, which is known as the worst team in history, it is a high-ranking group in the area of combat skills. And she, a true elite, takes good care of her half-elf in every aspect. It's so rare. Nina, the top student, would sit in front of the desk and be embarrassed. Does she not understand something? Lappy? That freshman? Milia was surprised, and then Nina said, yes, with a smile on her face. Lappy is really good. He obviously has no knowledge, but he has been trying very hard to keep up with the progress of the course. He can still keep up with my study pace. This is the first time I have met such a person. This is really amazing. Nina knew very well that her learning method was winning by quantity. This was a number that would make even the students in the school district, who successfully enrolled, those with the will to learn, scream. So far, no student has been able to keep up with Nina's learning workload, and some have even commented on her as not very efficient. In this case, the newcomer Lappy, that somewhat stupid gesture of desperately trying to keep up with her surprised Nina, was also very fresh and she was very touched. Instead, sometimes he went to bed later than Nina, got up earlier and completed more quantities than Nina. Milia knew very well how much Nina studied, so upon hearing this, she couldn't help but twitch her cheeks and seem to have increased her evaluation of Lappy. So now I also want to cheer for Lappy-kun. I hope he can follow the course content as much as possible, so I thought I'd take notes for him. She organized the key points like this and took notes for viewing and review. Once or twice. Not to brag, but Nina could feel that thanks to the notes she prepared, Lappy was able to keep up with the progress of the course. At first, it was because Leon asked me to look after him. But now that she knew who he was, she felt good about him, so she took the initiative to accompany him. It's a bit wrong to say that we're like ordinary friends. The two gears are interconnected, or so it should be said. Anyway, Nina and Lappy get along very well. Also, I always feel like he's a bit like his father. Although his eyes are blocked by long bangs and can't be seen clearly, the atmosphere of shy smile and the posture of eagerly wanting to help others are all the same. Identical to Nina's beloved father. Although it wasn't because of that, Nina, who is kind and caring, gradually began to want to spontaneously root for Lappy. Senior Millie, what do you think of Lappy-kun? That's really hard to answer. After all, I haven't had much communication with him, and he came to the school district less than 10 days ago. That's right. I just passed by. Such a short time. But he's already put together the 3rd team. Is that the 3rd team? It's the same team that I could never put together, and almost cried alone in the bathroom. The worst team. Nina, did you expose a bit too much? Iglin would probably never admit it, but Lappy is now the spiritual support of the 3rd team. Known as the Labyrinth Man, he displays incredible judgment in that underground labyrinth. Even Nina, the squad leader, couldn't help but take his opinion as a reference. He would never step forward and would stay on the sidelines most of the time, but as soon as Nina and the others encountered a problem, he would definitely contribute his wisdom. Thanks to this, among the many teams, the 3rd team has already earned enough credits to be ranked quite high. Lappy Fleming. He was truly an amazing character. Introverted and easily shy and nervous, unable to refuse other people's requests. But he is hardworking, kind to others, and has firm beliefs. Nina herself knew very well that when describing Lappy, her jade-green eyes must be shining. Milia looked at Nina like that and suddenly laughed, haha. It seems that Nina is very obsessed with that rabbit classmate. I always feel like there's something in Big Sister's words. It's your imagination. After school that day, something happened that confirmed Nina's assessment. What is said is true. Hey, Combat Techniques Department. Please give me some advice. After Leon briefed them on various matters, everyone in the Combat Techniques Department was about to prepare for a special stage. 2 people from the forging discipline rushed into the classroom with a sword. We went to Gobni of Familia to have a faction experience, but the result was failed again. No matter what we do, we can't pass. It was the same when I returned to Ororio last time, there were so many. Every time we fail. The burly teenagers placed their weapons on the table and almost shouted for help from Nina and the others. The students from the Combat Skills Department gathered in a circle with curiosity and began the daily routine of the school district, which was to give each other opinions. It looks like a pretty decent organ weapon. Well, how about this weapon being pretty good? I want to use it. I can make a better weapon than this. You're bothering Iglin. Shut up, you stupid and weird dwarf. In the classroom, which suddenly became noisy, Iglin snorted and took out his sword, showing light magic blade, and then someone said, in surprise. It was Lappy. What is this sword? It's just a mechanical weapon. Oh, by the way. Is this your first time seeing Lappy-kun? I'm the only one in the 3rd team who's using the attached weapon. It's a mechanism weapon, and I've never used it in the dungeon. This is an invention of the school district that was born from the 2 disciplines of alchemy and blacksmithing. After absorbing the user's magic power, it can greatly increase its range and power. Beside Nina, Iglin waved his sword quickly and explained. The weapon generates a blade of magical light, enveloping the sword's body as if it were wearing armor of light. The power also adds a weight corresponding to the infused magic power to its own basic power. The mechanism he saw for the first time left Lappy dumbfounded. Orario's weapons that aren't equipped with mechanisms are widely circulated. They're definitely valuable. They are also very effective against monsters in dungeons. But, they just can't be recognized. Mr. Gobniu doesn't talk much, he doesn't tell us anything. Hearing the sighs of the students from the blacksmithing department, the combat techniques department also expressed some opinions, but none of them felt that, that's it, was the answer. Just when they were in trouble. Lappy, what do you mean? Your mouth is always moving. Just say something. You're my guardian beast, so you must be confident. Beside Lappy, who was hesitant to speak, the small human Chris declared proudly for some reason. All the eyes in the classroom were focused, and the boy couldn't help but feel a little shy, but in the end he cautiously said. That, you mean, this mechanism is probably easy to break, right? Hey, freshman, I can't just let it go after hearing that. After the students from the blacksmithing department responded angrily, he shyly said again, oh no, that's not what I meant, then reluctantly gathered his thoughts and carefully considered his words. This mechanism is probably a magic stone product, like a magic tool added to the weapon structure, right? So in order to maintain this structure, the durability will be reduced. This idea should be correct, right? If you mean compared to ordinary weapons, it will be so. However, there is only such a small difference. Yeah, I think so too. Even so. But probably, this small difference will be scary in the dungeon. Expression, Lappy stared at them and said clearly. I heard that, in the labyrinth, a broken weapon is no different than losing half your body. Even if you bring multiple weapons to explore, the number is limited.